Hello. If you can hear me, make sure you comment. I'm quite new to this, so I don't know how it really works. Wow, look. Woo! Okay, anyway, back to the serious matter. This week, I went to the council to do something, and on my way back, I walked through Marks and Spencer's, and I discovered that if you are a brand, it is perfectly reasonable to charge people over the odds for something that isn't worth it. So, for instance, I went into Marks and Spencer's. Let's say, for instance, it's Christmas, so they've got Christmas decorations. I saw that they had these Christmas glass baubles that were about this big. They were kind of like a blown glass effect, so they were quite fancy. And I looked in Marks and Spencer's. In Marks and Spencer's, they were like, I don't know, it was ridiculous. It was £6 in Marks and Spencer's. And then I had a look at a few other things, and I thought upon it on myself, and I was like, I wonder how much this actually is down the road. So I went about, how many shops would you say Wilko's was down the road?
10.
It's only about 10, isn't it? So 10 shops down on the high street, I went into Wilko's. I saw these same glass baubles for £1.50. So now you're talking a £4.50 difference. When you look at the average person on minimum wage makes £6.50, or is it £7.20 now?
I think it's more like 7.30, isn't it?
£7.30, £7.20. When you look at that, that's £5 is a big chunk out of what you would make as a person working in the shop. Which, when you look down the high street, the average person, or down a street in a row of houses, the average person in that street works in a minimum wage job, working minimum wage hours, getting minimum wage. So when you look at the fact that Marks and Spencer's are charging £6, £4.50 more than it's being charged for in Wilko's, I find that quite astonishing that people are paying almost an hour's wage to have it from Marks and Spencer's, even though it's the same. This led me on to look at the food section in Marks and Spencer's, and I was looking through, and I saw Pink Lady apples. Now, I know from working in .com for a leading supermarket that Pink Lady apples are one of the most expensive apples. They're probably not the most expensive apples, but they are one of the most expensive apples, and they're quite a popular apple. And in Marks and Spencer's, 4 Pink Lady apples cost a total of £4. That's £1 an apple. Okay, they weren't massive apples. They were reasonable sized apples. We live literally down one road to Asda, so I thought on the way home I'll look in Asda, and I had a quick look. You got 6 Pink Lady apples of the same reasonable size, £1.80. So now we're talking that on a food that you buy to keep yourself healthy and keep yourself going, it's £3, not £3, £2.20. So we're not far off £3 difference. Now, going back to the minimum wage and the fact that, you know, there are people in our country, lots of people that are on a benefit or on the bread line, £2.20 is a lot of money. Like, what can you buy for £2.20?
Loads of stuff. Well, enough mince to feed you for a day.
The apples were no different. They are still going to taste like Pink Lady apples. Now, we tested this tonight. I made a load of recording that I wanted to put out as a video, but for some reason my iPad didn't record the sound on it, and I wanted to know if people knew the difference between a branded food and a supermarket own brand. So we tested it. So there was myself. I didn't taste them because obviously I knew which one was which, but there was Sheila, Finlay and Zena, my mum, and I didn't tell them which one was which. I laid them out. So the first one we started with was digestive biscuits. We had McVitie's digestive biscuits versus Asda's own digestive biscuits. There was a difference of 50p. Like, one was double the price. It was 50p more. And it was the Asda own brand that was picked over the McVitie's as the brand name item. 2 out of the 3 people picked Asda's own brand as the leading brand. Now that's 50p a week that somebody is paying more to have the McVitie's, and I don't understand if as a country we're going out and buying brands because they're brands, or we're going out and buying brands because we think they taste better. So after having a long discussion, sat down, we decided that for a week we would live on the bread line, in the sense of we would feed 2 people 7 meals across the week for £20, but our meal had to include, one meal had to be a roast dinner. We're not going to use any fancy electrical gadgets, so there's no Tefal Acti-Fries, there's no slicers, there's no deep fat fryers. Anything else? No hand mixers. So no hand mixers. Everything is going to be done by hand. We're going to make as much of it as we can. We've already agreed that we'll buy pre-made roast potatoes and Yorkshire puddings for a Sunday meal. But myself and Sheila are going to do it. So we're going to have 2 different sides to it. So I'm going to cook the meals for the week. I've not actually cooked big meals before, so it'll be interesting for the week. I don't think Mum's looking forward to it. But so for 7 days, we're gonna spend £20, and I'm gonna see if I can make what we would normally eat, or quite similar to, come in at £20 a week. So I've been on the way home. I was proper dwindling and wondering if I can actually do it. So I think it is going to be a challenge. We're going to pop pictures on Instagram. We're going to make sure that there's a picture of every meal to show what we made, and make sure that we've totted up the receipt. So there's going to be a receipt of how much we spent, what was included in our meals, and we're going to kind of like spread it right out. So by the end of so Monday to Sunday, by next Monday, the following Monday, I should be able to tell you how much I spent per meal, and if they were good or not, or if I naffed it up. So far, I think everyone thinks I'm going to fail. So make sure you subscribe, follow our journey, and let's see what happens after the week. So 1 week, £20, that's all we've got to feed 2 people, 7 dinners, including a roast dinner. Let's see what happens. Adios.